The ocean never ceases to amaze humans. Hidden beneath the waves are giant creatures, both mysterious and majestic, sometimes appearing unexpectedly through the camera lens, making us shiver and wonder. How many things are yet to be discovered? Not myths, not movie special effects, but real giants who have appeared before human eyes. 1. Blue whale, the gentle giant of the ocean. Among the vast seas, there is a creature that makes all the largest ships of mankind become small when placed next to it, the blue whale. With a length that can exceed 30 meters and a weight of more than 200 tons, they are the largest animals that have ever existed on this planet, far surpassing even the giant dinosaurs of the Jurassic period. However, what amazes people is not only the enormous size, but also the gentleness and slow pace of life of this creature. Encountering a blue whale in the middle of the ocean is an experience that is hard to forget. When that giant body gently rises from the water, its breath exhales in a towering column of water, making a deep sound like a giant engine, then slowly sinks back down. The surface of the ocean suddenly becomes smaller than ever. Humans, with all their modern technology, cannot help but feel overwhelmed when standing before a creature that possesses both majestic and mysterious beauty. Despite their incredible size, the blue whale's diet is quite unique. They live off tiny creatures called krill, tiny shrimps just a few centimeters long. During feeding season, a blue whale can swallow up to 4 tons of krill a day, using its enormous baleen plates to filter food from the salt water. It's hard to imagine such a giant living off such tiny creatures. But it's this strange balance that has kept them alive for millions of years. Blue whales can travel thousands of kilometers during their migration, from the frigid waters where they feed to warmer waters where they give birth. Each time they swim, the flap of their tail can create waves powerful enough to shake vast stretches of ocean. And when they communicate, the deep sounds emitted by their bodies can be heard hundreds of kilometers under the sea, creating an invisible symphony that only the giants of the ocean can hear. The footage of the blue whale swimming silently through the lens always makes people's hearts stop. It is not only a sight of a giant creature, but also a reminder of the vastness of the ocean and the smallness of human beings. In the middle of the endless ocean, the blue whale is still present as a symbol of the power of nature. Gentle but great, silent but immortal. 2. Giant Pacific octopus, master of camouflage of the ocean. In the deep darkness of the Pacific Ocean, where sunlight rarely reaches, a mysterious creature quietly exists, the giant Pacific octopus. With an arm span that can exceed 5 meters and a weight of up to 150 kilograms, it is the largest octopus in the world. When one arm is stretched out, its dense, shiny suction cups look like hundreds of small discs, each one strong enough to cling to rocks, even to hold a struggling prey. What makes the giant octopus a legend is not only its size, but also its amazing ability to camouflage. In just a split second, its soft body can change color and even skin texture to blend in with the surrounding rocks, sand, or coral. Under the diver's lens, sometimes people only see a lifeless rock, until it suddenly moves. Its big round eyes light up like 2 lights, and then its giant body appears, making everyone shudder in amazement. Not only is the giant Pacific octopus clever at hiding, it is also a skilled hunter. It coils its long tentacles tightly, darting through crevices in rocks to snatch crabs, fish, or even small sharks. When needed, it will spray a thick black mist of ink, obscuring the vision of its enemies, and then disappear like a ghost. It is this combination of muscle power and intelligence that makes the giant octopus one of the most formidable creatures in the ocean. But what most moved many people was their short lifespan. A giant octopus typically lives for only about 5 years. After laying tens of thousands of eggs, the female gives up hunting to guard the nest until she dies of exhaustion. Their lives, though short, leave a huge legacy. New generations continue the mysterious journey of the deep sea. Footage capturing the giant octopus stretching its long arms out in the dark blue water, its body constantly changing color according to the light, always makes viewers both scared and amazed. It is not only a giant creature, but also a living testament to the endless creativity of nature, where beauty and fear always go hand in hand. 3. Siphonophore, the living ribbon longer than the blue whale. In the depths where light no longer reaches, the ocean still hides magical secrets that humans have only glimpsed. During an expedition in the waters off the coast of Australia, scientists encountered a creature that left everyone stunned. A siphonophore, a string of glowing creatures that stretched over 120 meters long, longer than the blue whale, the largest animal on the planet. A siphonophore is not a single organism like a whale or a giant squid. It is a collection of thousands of tiny individuals, each with a specific function. Some are specialized in locomotion, some are predators, some are simply reproductive. All of them are fused into a single body, moving fluidly through the dark water like a giant glowing ribbon in the void. When the camera lens first captured that image, the siphonophore appeared as a whirlpool of light. A perfect circle rotating in the deep sea like a small galaxy drifting in the ocean. Each slender tendril glowed blue, stretching endlessly, making the viewer feel both amazed and small. The way the siphonophore hunts is equally strange. Its slender tentacles extend out, carrying venomous stinging cells, and when they come into contact with tiny prey, they immediately paralyze it and take it back to the body part, specialized for digestion. Everything happens silently, slowly, but extremely effectively. It is a tiny society where each individual serves the whole, operating in harmony like a perfect machine. It is not often that humans have the opportunity to see this mysterious creature. The rare appearance of a siphonophore before the lens is like a gift from the ocean. It reminds us that the world under the sea is much larger than imagined, where there exist creatures that science has not yet been able to explain. Those films make us admit that, under the deep blue water, there are invisible giants quietly existing, graceful and mysterious, challenging all limits of human understanding. 4. Giant corals, great architects of the ocean. When it comes to giant creatures of the ocean, we often think of whales, octopuses, or giant sharks. But few people know that there is a seemingly small creature that can create the most giant natural structures on the planet. That is coral. And in the vast ocean, some giant coral blocks have been recorded with terrifying sizes, as big as 2 basketball courts combined, existing for hundreds of years as immortal monuments under the sea. Corals are neither rocks nor plants, but are made up of millions of tiny polyps, each no larger than a pinhead. But over centuries, they gradually secrete their limestone shells, building them up bit by bit, creating massive, sturdy coral reefs. It is through this silent patience that humans have been able to witness such magnificent natural structures, where fish swim, turtles rest, and countless other sea creatures take refuge. One of the most impressive discoveries is the giant coral reef in the Solomon Islands. This coral reef is 10 meters high, nearly 15 meters in diameter, and is estimated to be over 600 years old. It is like a silent castle on the seabed, witnessing the changes of the ocean over the centuries. From the ancient days before the shadow of humans to the modern day today. What makes giant corals so special is not just their size, but also their vital role in the ecosystem. Giant coral reefs are the lungs of the ocean, providing shelter and breeding grounds for countless fish species, helping to maintain the delicate balance of the ocean. Every time the camera dives down and captures the image, it feels like we are seeing an underwater city, where each tiny creature works together to build a giant world. In the face of such greatness, humans can only remain silent, acknowledging that there are giants who do not walk, do not hunt, but still contribute to shaping the face of the ocean. Giant coral is proof that strength does not only come from agility or ferocity, but also from endurance and patience, which have helped them survive for hundreds of years in the deep blue water. 5. Giant sperm whale, hunter of darkness. In the deep seas where the sunlight never reaches, there exists a giant predator that can dive more than 1,000 meters just to find a meal. It is the giant sperm whale, the world's largest toothed mammal. With a length of up to 20 meters and a weight of more than 50 tons, the sperm whale appears like a living submarine, powerful and mysterious. Sperm whales are famous for their huge heads, which take up 1/3 of their bodies and contain spermaceti, a special waxy substance that helps them regulate their buoyancy and aid in deep diving. Thanks to this structure, they can maintain tremendous pressure at the bottom of the sea, where most other animals cannot survive. When the camera captures the image of a sperm whale slowly sinking into the deep blue sea, it feels like we are witnessing a giant block of steel cutting through the waves and going into the darkness. But what makes sperm whales legendary are their life and death battles with giant squids. Sperm whales have been seen surfacing many times, their bodies marked with deep scars, traces of tentacles tens of meters long that once wrapped around them. Scientists have even found giant squid beaks in the stomachs of sperm whales, evidence of fierce confrontations that humans rarely witness with their own eyes. Sperm whales don't hunt with their eyes, because at depths of thousands of meters, the darkness is absolute. Instead, they use ultrasound to locate their prey. The clicks echo underwater, so powerful that they can penetrate the skulls of small prey, paralyzing them for a moment. It is this invisible weapon that helps sperm whales become the rulers of the abyss. Yet beneath that ferocity lurks a contrasting image. Sperm whales travel in family groups, with mothers patiently raising their young, the calves following their mothers on journeys of thousands of kilometers. Under the blue sea, they are both warriors and protectors, leaving observers with a sense of both respect and emotion. Every time the sperm whale breaks the surface, its breath billowing out in a towering column of water that falls like rain. It is a moment that makes one realize the greatness of nature. This dark hunter is not only the ruler of the deep ocean, but also a testament to the magic that the sea still hides from human eyes. 6. Goliath grouper, the gentle giant of shipwrecks. During diving trips, there is a moment that makes divers hold their breath. When suddenly a giant black shadow appears and silently drifts past their eyes. That is the Goliath grouper, a fish that can grow up to 3 meters long and weigh more than 400 kilograms. A gentle giant, but enough to overwhelm anyone who meets it for the first time. Goliath groupers are often found near coral reefs or around shipwrecks resting on the seabed. These places, with their countless nooks and crannies and darkness, are the ideal hiding places for their giant bodies. When the diving lights sweep over, their huge mouths and round eyes stare back silently, giving the feeling of being face to face with an ancient creature left over from prehistoric times. Despite their large size and ferocious appearance, Goliath groupers are docile fish that feed mainly on small fish, shrimp, crabs, and other crustaceans. With their mouths as wide as a pit, they only need to open their mouths to create enough suction to pull their prey inside. It all happens in a split second. Incredibly easy for such a huge body. There are videos of divers getting close enough to a Goliath grouper to see its thick, rough gray skin and the scars that crisscross its body. The fish calmly circles around, seemingly oblivious to human presence, like an ancient god guarding the secrets of the deep. But the Goliath grouper's existence is also a delicate reminder. In the past, the fish was overfished for its enormous size and thick flesh, causing its numbers to plummet. Only in recent decades has conservation efforts seen it slowly reappear in some waters, like Florida and the Caribbean. Each time it is caught on camera, it is not only evidence of biodiversity, but also the long journey to protect these gentle giants. Amidst the darkness of the shipwrecks, the Goliath grouper swam silently by, its giant shadow covering a corner of the sea. That moment made us understand that the ocean still has creatures that are both massive and mysterious, reminding humans to learn to respect and preserve this deep blue world. 7. Greenland shark, the old fisherman of the ocean. In the icy cold waters of the North Atlantic, there is a species of shark that has swum silently for centuries, witnessing the changes of the human world while still remaining present in the darkness of the deep sea. That is the Greenland shark, a creature known as the old fisherman of the ocean. These fish can grow up to 7 meters long and weigh more than a ton, rivaling the great white shark in size. But what makes them special is not just their massive bodies, but their extraordinary lifespan. Studies show that Greenland sharks can live for 300 to 500 years, making them the longest-lived vertebrates known to man on Earth. That means there are sharks swimming beneath the Greenland ice sheet today that were around before Newton discovered the law of universal gravitation. Despite their majestic appearance, Greenland sharks are slow-moving creatures. They swim at a speed of only about a meter per second. Their eyes are cloudy with parasites that severely limit their vision. Yet they have survived for centuries thanks to their patient hunting ability, using their keen sense of smell to track their prey. Their diet includes fish, squid, and even animal carcasses that have fallen from the sea. There are records of Greenland sharks swallowing reindeer and polar bears sliding into the sea ice, enough to imagine the silent power of this animal. As the rare Greenland shark caught on camera drifting through the cold, dark waters, it felt like witnessing a living piece of history. Its massive body, its slow, steady swim, evoked the image of an ancient creature lost from the Ice Age. Its every movement was patient, a testament to the power of time and enduring adaptability. The ocean is often associated with ferocious predators like great white sharks and killer whales. But the Greenland shark tells a different story, one of longevity, where strength comes not from speed or ferocity, but from the ability to survive through hundreds of years of upheaval. That is why this shark has always been considered a living symbol of the patience and mystery that the sea holds. 8. Sunfish, the strange giant of the blue sea. In the world of underwater creatures, there are giant creatures that amaze us with their strength. But there are also creatures that amaze people with their strange shapes that seem unreal. The ocean sunfish, also known as Mola, is one of them. At first glance, it resembles a truncated piece of the full moon, a massive round mass floating on the surface of the water with its dorsal and anal fins extended high like two giant oars, without the long, slender tail of other fish. The sunfish's body appears to be missing half, making it one of the most bizarre creatures the ocean has ever produced. But don't let its clumsy appearance fool you. The sunfish can weigh more than 2 tons and can measure more than 3 meters from dorsal to pelvic fin, making it the largest bony fish in the world. When swimming, it tilts its body, its fins flapping slowly, its massive body drifting slowly past, forcing schools of smaller fish to scurry away as if they were an unfamiliar ship. Sunfish feed primarily on jellyfish, and to digest this soft prey, their stomachs are incredibly stretchy. However, this habit also makes them vulnerable in the modern world, where plastic bags floating in the sea, easily mistaken for jellyfish, pose a deadly threat to the giant fish. In rare footage, people have captured scenes of sunfish floating on the surface of the water, lazily basking in the sunlight. as if enjoying a sunbathing session in the middle of the ocean. The image evokes a strange sense of peace, despite the vast ocean surrounding them, always lurking with danger. The sunfish, with its eccentric shape and enormous size, reminds us that the ocean is not only home to fierce rulers, but also to gentle, unusual, and mysterious creatures. In this strangeness, there is a beauty. The beauty of the endless diversity that nature has patiently cultivated over millions of years. 9. Giant ghost jellyfish, the silent ghost of the deep sea. In the eternal darkness of the deep ocean, there are creatures that rarely appear before human eyes. And each time they appear, they overwhelm everyone. One of them is the giant ghost jellyfish, a mysterious creature first recorded more than a century ago. But until now, the number of times it has been encountered can be counted on the fingers of one hand. The giant ghost jellyfish possesses a bell that is up to a meter in diameter, from which hang 4 long arms that can reach 10 meters. Those arms drift lazily in the black water, fragile as silk, but possessing extraordinary survival power. Unlike familiar jellyfish, the ghost jellyfish does not swim fast or glow brightly, but moves slowly like a floating shadow, silent but powerful. Scientists believe that these giant arms are special hunting weapons. They gently sweep through the water, touching any creature that floats by, then immediately grab it and bring it to the center to be digested. It is this patience and absolute silence that makes the ghost jellyfish a mysterious predator, rarely detected but always existing in the darkness. On a rare occasion, the camera of a deep-sea exploration vessel captured the scene of a ghost jellyfish gliding before the lens. The image appeared like a surreal dance, the giant bell floating, the long arms winding like invisible silk, the whole body immersed in a mysterious crimson color. Viewers could not help but shiver, both scared and stunned by the strange beauty of this creature. The giant ghost jellyfish, though rarely seen, has become a symbol of the endless mystery of the ocean. It reminds us that in the deep water there exist ghosts that science has not yet fully explained. And every time the lens catches its silhouette, it is not only a scientific discovery, but also a whisper from the ocean about things that humans have yet to discover. 10. Japanese spider crab, crustacean giant of the deep sea. Under the Sea of Japan, where cold currents weave through the cliffs, there is a creature that makes anyone who sees it for the first time shiver. It is the Japanese spider crab, the world's largest crustacean, with legs that can stretch more than 4 meters and a rough body reminiscent of creatures from prehistoric times. The main body of the Japanese spider crab is only about 40 centimeters wide. But when its legs are extended, its entire body becomes a giant skeleton that towers over the seabed. Its hard shell is covered with cracks, algae, and small creatures, making it blend into its surroundings. It is thanks to this camouflage ability that the giant crab has been able to avoid predators for hundreds of years. What makes the Japanese spider crab special is not just its size, but its incredible longevity. They can live for up to a century, silently crawling along the seabed, watching generations of other creatures be born and die. Despite their fearsome appearance, they are not aggressive predators, but mainly feed on dead animals and seaweed, helping to clean up the ocean like giant silent cleaners. In rare footage, when the diver's light shines on, the image of the Japanese spider crab slowly moving on the sand evokes a feeling of both grandeur and creepiness. The long claws like dry branches stretched out, each step slow but sure, making the observer think of an ancient machine operating in the darkness of the deep sea. In Japan, the image of giant spider crabs is both legendary and closely associated with folklore, where they are considered the old spirits of the sea. And when seeing them in real life, people can truly feel that the deep sea not only contains fierceness, but also preserves strange, ancient creatures as if time has never touched. The Japanese spider crab, with its enormous size and extraordinary longevity, is a testament to the power of endurance, a living witness to the fact that the ocean still holds countless secrets that have yet to be fully deciphered by humans. 11. Whale sharks, gentle giants of the ocean. When it comes to the world's largest fish, one cannot ignore the whale shark, a gentle giant that quietly drifts between the waves. With a length that can exceed 12 meters and a weight of more than 20 tons, whale sharks make anyone who encounters them for the first time feel overwhelmed, as if standing in front of a living submarine. However, in complete contrast to their giant appearance, they have an incredibly gentle nature. The whale shark's body is covered with thick, dark gray skin, dotted with countless sparkling white spots like the starry night sky. When they move, those patterns undulate with each wave, making people feel like they are admiring a vivid cosmic painting right under the water. The mouth is more than a meter wide, enough to swallow an adult. But the whale shark only eats small creatures like plankton and baby fish, filtering hundreds of liters of seawater every day to get food. A common sight is a whale shark swimming lazily in the clear blue water, surrounded by schools of small fish swimming along, seeking shelter in its giant shadow. Sometimes, entire schools of whale sharks gather together, creating a spectacular scene like a group dance, each giant individual slowly moving to its own rhythm, making the ocean strangely peaceful. Divers who are lucky enough to encounter whale sharks often describe it as an unforgettable experience. When you are right next to them, you can truly feel the massiveness of this fish. But instead of feeling scared, what remains is peace and serenity, because their eyes are gentle and quiet, like an ancient soul. Whale sharks are not only a symbol of the sea, but also a living testament to the fragile balance of nature. They migrate thousands of kilometers, from tropical waters to distant oceans, to maintain a life cycle that has existed for millions of years. But because of their enormous size and gentle nature, they are easy targets for humans, making this animal now in need of special protection. Footage of whale sharks swimming leisurely under the blue water, their giant bodies casting shadows over a vast expanse of ocean, always leaves viewers breathless. It is the moment we realize that, amidst the noisy and fierce world of the ocean, there are still gentle giants quietly present, as a reminder of the harmony and wonder of life. 12. Giant manta rays, angel wings of the sea. In the vast ocean world, there is a creature that is not ferocious, does not have a jaw full of sharp teeth, but every time it appears, it makes people choke with its surreal beauty. That is the giant manta ray, a creature that is likened to a winged angel flying silently in the middle of the ocean. Manta rays can have a wingspan of up to 7 meters and weigh more than 2 tons. But when they move as gracefully as a dancer. Their 2 giant pectoral fins spread out like wings, flapping slowly in the blue water, their bodies gliding gracefully. Sometimes they launch themselves out of the water, spin around, and land with a resounding crash, as if the ocean were their own stage. Unlike many other giants of the sea, manta rays feed on plankton, tiny creatures suspended in the water. They swim with their mouths wide open, and the small horns on their heads guide food into their mouths, creating a harmonious and continuous rhythm. The image reminds people of an endless dance, where life is nurtured naturally and gently. Manta rays are not alone. Many times, divers have recorded scenes of giant schools of manta rays swimming together, creating a magnificent group dance. Under the sunlight filtering through the clear water, those giant shadows glide, looking like giant clouds drifting in the ocean. Facing the giant manta, people often do not feel fear, but only peace. Their large black eyes shine with gentleness, as if observing, understanding, and then accepting the presence of humans in their own world. It is a moment that makes us realize that not all giants are fierce. There are creatures born to inspire gentleness and freedom. The giant manta ray, with its soft wings, is proof that the ocean is not only a place of mortal combat, but also a place of art and peace. And every time the camera catches one gliding through the water, it is a reminder that in the vast ocean, there is still a dance that never stops. 13. Great white shark, legendary predator of the ocean. Of all the giant sea creatures ever recorded, none inspires as much awe and fear as the great white shark. Reaching lengths exceeding 6 meters and weighing upwards of 3 tons, the great white has long been a symbol of absolute power in the ocean. Their teeth are the nightmare of every small creature in the sea. More than 300 sharp teeth are arranged in rows, always ready to replace the old teeth when they break, creating an invincible weapon. When that giant mouth opens, each row of teeth flashing under the water, people understand that any prey that gets into the sights will have little chance of escaping. Great white sharks are not only physically powerful, but also master hunters thanks to their extraordinary sensitivity. They can detect a drop of blood in millions of liters of seawater, can feel the smallest vibrations from kilometers away. In particular, the ability to leap from the depths, launching themselves out of the water to attack prey, often called breach, has become a classic scene in every ocean film. But what makes the great white shark so legendary is not just its power, but its mystery. Despite decades of study, its life cycle remains largely unsolved. The great white shark's migration, which spans thousands of kilometers across many oceans, remains a mystery that humans are only just beginning to uncover. When the camera captures the moment a great white shark glides past a diver in a cage, you can feel the stark contrast. On one side is the creature at the top of the food chain, swimming leisurely in its territory. On the other side is a small human, daring to observe behind a metal barrier. It is a momentary reminder that the sea still belongs to those who existed there millions of years before us. The great white shark is both fierce and majestic, the embodiment of pure power that nature bestows upon the ocean. And every time the camera captures the image of one of them leaping out of the water, cutting through the sunset over the open sea, people shudder once more at the fact that there are legends still alive, just below these deep waves. 14. Blue whale, the giant heart of the planet. When it comes to nature's greatest creatures, nothing beats the blue whale, the largest animal to have ever lived. At over 30 meters long and weighing up to 200 tons, the blue whale is not only a giant of the ocean, but also a symbol of the majesty of life. Its tongue alone weighs as much as a full-grown elephant, and its heart is the size of a car, pumping thousands of liters of blood throughout its massive body with each beat. Blue whales move slowly, but every time they surface, exhaling a column of air that soars more than 10 meters high, the entire sea seems to shake. It is a rare moment when humans witness the magic of a creature that seems to only exist in mythology. When they swim, their endless bodies part the waves under the sun, creating an image that is both majestic and serene. It's hard to believe that such a giant creature survives on the tiniest of sea creatures, krill. Every day, the blue whale can swallow tons of these tiny creatures, proving that strength doesn't have to come from violence, but from the harmonious balance of nature. In the past, blue whales were nearly wiped out by commercial hunting. Tens of thousands were killed for their oil, causing their populations to plummet. But thanks to conservation efforts, they are now slowly making a comeback, although they are still listed as a species in need of special protection. Every time a blue whale is caught on camera, it is not just footage of a sea creature, but also a testament to the resilience of life in the face of human greed and destruction. Blue whales, with their colossal size and gentle presence, are the heartbeat of the planet, They remind us that greatness lies not in strength or speed, but in their longevity and ability to connect all species in the cycle of life. When a blue whale sings hundreds of kilometers away, it echoes like a whisper from the earth, reminding us that the ocean holds wonders beyond our imagination. 15. Giant squid, living legend of the deep ocean. For centuries, giant squids existed only in folklore, described as the Kraken, a sea monster capable of sinking entire ships. Sailors recounted sightings of tentacles as long as masts rising from the waves, only to disappear into the darkness. These tales both inspired fear and imagination. But only recently has science begun to reveal the truth about this mysterious creature. Giant squid can grow up to 14 meters long, with some individuals thought to be even longer, with long tentacles covered in giant suckers. Each sucker is lined with tiny teeth, forming a fearsome weapon when they wrap their prey around it. The giant squid's eyes are also among the largest in the animal world, measuring nearly 30 centimeters in diameter, allowing them to see in the absolute darkness of the deep sea. The first image of a giant squid in the wild was captured not long ago, when an underwater camera captured the giant creature swimming silently by. It did not resemble the ferocious monster of legend, but a red ghost, soft but enormous, drifting through the ocean like an alien dancer. However, the body of the sperm whale, the giant squid's natural enemy, still bore deep scars from its tentacles, evidence of fierce battles that took place in places never touched by humans. Giant squid live thousands of meters deep, where terrible pressure and eternal darkness separate them from the human world. That is why they remain one of the most mysterious creatures on the planet. The rare times they are filmed not only surprise scientists, but also make viewers feel that the ocean still holds secrets that have never been revealed. Every time we see the image of a giant squid on the screen, from its long tentacles to its giant eyes that illuminate the darkness, it is not only a moment of science touching the unknown, but also a testament to the eternal mystery of the ocean. In the deep waves, there are still living legends quietly existing, reminding us that this world is much larger than human imagination.